Hey guys, and welcome to Jenkins31. I am back and feeling much better than I was when I made the Jose Fernandez video on Monday, I believe it was. Um, so time for NFL Week 4 season predictions. Much more thought went into these ones than last week. I still managed to go, I believe, 9-7 last week. Total of 31-17 on the season, so that's actually pretty good. Still got a little bit of the cough, but anyway. Real quick, if you guys hear anything like vibrating or like a bass like thumping or whatever, my dad's practicing bass right now. So, there you go. Anyway, let's get right into these predictions. So we're starting off with the Dolphins, and I should probably pull up my predictions. We're starting off with the Dolphins and the Bengals in Cincinnati. Now, the Bengals have been off to a rather slow start. I'm not going to say incredibly slow, but they haven't been off to a great start. Sorry, I just got to text my boss. The Dolphins, on the other hand, also have been off to a somewhat of a worse start. Neither team is doing, if you ask me, what they're capable of. I mean, not that either team is capable of a lot, but I mean overall. So we got. Why aren't their records loading right now? That's fantastic. Sorry guys, I had this up and then it went away. So the Bengals are 1-2, and so are the Dolphins. They're both 1-2. I got the Bengals winning this one not only because they're at home, but it just honestly like the Dolphins haven't been able to do really jack crap this year. So I mean, or did I say the Dolphins? For some reason I feel like I said the Giants. I'm not sure though. Like I said, I'm still not completely with it. Anyway, so the Bengals are gonna win this one. Colts at Jaguars. I'm gonna give this one to the Colts. Colts are 1-2. Jaguars are 0-3. Enough said. Buffalo Bills at New England Patriots. Rumor has it that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be back. I don't know if that's entirely true, and if it's true, how it's possible, considering he sprained his AC joint in his shoulder. In his throwing shoulder, might I add. But we'll see. I mean, the Patriots are doing fantastic right now. I mean, they're 3-0 with two different quarterbacks, and yet they're both backups. The Bills are 1-2. So I'll give this one to the Patriots. Even if we have to go with Edelman, I'll give it to the Patriots. Seattle Seahawks and New York Jets. The Seahawks obviously don't have Marshawn Lynch anymore. The Seahawks are without Russell Wilson. They don't have the best defense that there is. They sit currently at 2-1. Jets currently sit at 1-2. I still think that the Jets are actually gonna pull away with this one, not just because they're at MetLife, but because the Seahawks just honestly are not the best team without Russell Wilson. Detroit Lions at Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions are 1-2. The Chicago Bears are 0-3. Got this one going to the Lions. I think Stafford's gonna do pretty well. And I think they're going with Brian Hoyer this week, so that's just a shit show waiting to happen. Carolina Panthers at Atlanta Falcons. See, the Panthers are 1-2. The Falcons are 2-1. So really, it's not really an upset for either team, if you ask me. But I'm gonna give this one to the Falcons. Cam Newton isn't as good as he was a year ago. They don't have Josh Norman on their defense anymore, so the defense kind of suffered. Jonathan Stewart hasn't played much, if any, yet, so we'll give this one to the Falcons. Next up, we got the Raiders and the Ravens. The Ravens are 3-0. I don't know how that's possible, but they are. And the Raiders are 2-1, so that's actually a pretty good start for the Raiders. Raider Nation's probably extremely happy right now. But I'll actually, I'm going to call this my upset of the week. I'm going to say that the Raiders win this one. Titans at Texans. The Texans are without J.J. Watt. He injured his back, probably from carrying the Texans for so long. Anyway, they still got Brock Osweiler and what's his face, Miller there, Lamar Miller, or yeah, I think so. So they still got decent offense. Got a couple of good receivers. Defense is okay. Titans aren't really doing crap. They're 1-2. So I'll give this one to the Texans. The 0-3 Cleveland Browns are going up against the 1-2 Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins obviously are running with Kirk Cousins as their QB. Browns, I don't even know. Like who are the Browns? Are the Browns running RG3 right now? I feel like RG3 got injured, I'm pretty sure. So I don't even know who the hell the Browns are running with as their quarterback. But obviously it's not going to make much of a difference. So I'm going to say that the Washington Redskins get to 500 and beat the Cleveland Browns. Denver Broncos at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Broncos are really surprising people. A lot of people thought they were going to go downhill once they lost Osweiler and Manning and a few other people. They retained Von Miller, yet they still have Anderson, they still have Demaryius Thomas, so on and so forth. But they're sitting at 3-0 right now, and the Buccaneers are currently sitting at 1-2. So, Jameis Winston, a lot of hype was leading into Jameis Winston this year. He hasn't really lived up to it. But Denver Broncos obviously are going to win this one. Enough said. I was talking with my friend your boy Hobo about this next game, the Rams and the Cardinals. Now, he was saying that he thinks the Rams are going to upset the Cardinals in Arizona. And it's not that I couldn't see that happening, because the Rams are 2-1 and the Cardinals are 1-2. With them being at home, I'm not sure. The Cardinals being at home. So, I'll chalk this one up to... You know what? What the hell? Let's give it to the Rams. Alright, next up are the Saints and the Chargers. Chargers currently sit at... Oh, wrong division. 1-2, while the Saints sit at 0-3. That's unbelievable. Phillip Rivers overall, if you ask me, is the better quarterback current day. Current day, Phillip Rivers is the better quarterback. The Saints, they've come close a couple times in winning. They only lost to the Raiders by 1, lost to the Giants by 3, but then got crushed last week, 45-32. I'm gonna say the Saints finally get their first win. Now to the matchup that I really don't like at all. Two teams I absolutely despise for the third week in a row. The Cowboys and the 49ers. If I could, I would chalk this one up to a tie, but I don't do ties in predictions. So, Dak Prescott's doing pretty well. Ezekiel Elliott's doing pretty well. And then on the other side, Blaine Gabbert's doing pretty well, and Carlos Hyde's doing pretty well too. So, if you ask me, it's kind of even. I think it'll be a pretty close game. I'll give it to the Cowboys, even though I really don't want to, but I'll let the Cowboys take this one. Cowboys currently sit at 2-1, while the 49ers currently sit at 1-2. A lot of these matchups are 2-1, 1-2. The Kansas City Chiefs against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going to have a bounce-back week and defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. The Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting at 2-1. The Kansas City Chiefs are also sitting at 2-1. Alex Smith versus Ben Roethlisberger. I will give it to the Steelers. And for the final matchup of the week, Monday night, New York Giants versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are undefeated, while the Giants are 2-1. So, I'm honestly kind of torn on this one. I I really want to give this one to the Giants, but I can't see myself going against the Vikings when they're undefeated and they're going to be at home. So I mean, the Vikings beat the Packers, for crying out loud. So I think they can beat the Vikings. Or I'm sorry, the Vikings can beat the Vikings totally. I think the Vikings can beat the Giants. So I will give this one to the Vikings. Obviously, Green Bay and Eagles, as you guys can see at the bottom there, have a bye week. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Go check out your boy Hobo's video once he uploads his later on tonight. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will be talking to you guys later. Peace. I'm out.